Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw the king of all cosmos from KATAMARI Damacy that I play on Nintendo Switch. Just so you know, there's a coloring book that you can get through Amazon. Just follow the link in my description and you can get a coloring book to show me how you color to how I draw. Okay, pencils first, and then Sharpies. So, if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out for myself, look in the description, and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Alright, the craziness of KATAMARI Damacy. Okay, if you're here, you know the game, or even if you're not familiar with the game and you're just here because you are ready to try different things, good for you. That's awesome. But if you're here and you know the game, I'm going to mix it up just a little bit and try to kind of combine. Well, I don't know if I'm going to combine the characters because he's got a couple different looks, right? And I think we'll see as I'm sketching. I think I'm gonna go with one, but I kind of want the cape. Like, in other words, I'm drawing the one. You saw the picture. You know where. Why am I explaining? You know where it's going. You've seen it. The image that shows what we're doing today shows what I ended up drawing. I just don't know what I'm doing yet. See, you're in. I do this every time. You're in my future. I'm in your past. So because I don't see what you see yet, I always kind of come at this like, hey, what's going on there in the future? I don't know what we're going to do yet. But at this point, you already know what we're doing. You're there, you know? Me, I'm trying to figure it out. Give me a second to draw this. Something like that. Let me draw some hands. Let me figure out what I wanted to do with the hands. Hands we're going to get a little dynamic because, you know, his costume's crazy. And I need to leave his... What would you call that? That's not a lapel. That's a... what's that called? I don't know. I think of it as like a clown collar, you know? It's not, but that's what I think of. Like when clowns wear that kind of stuff. No offense, King. But let me see what I can do here too. And he's always got like his hands in a very dynamic, you know, so I gotta position him correctly. And then I can draw them. And then I can add his suit, like his clothing. So yeah, we're gonna get a little dynamic with the hands. So give me a second to concentrate on the drawing. Okay, I think that might work. You want to see some fun, crazy stuff? Look up King of Cosmos cosplay. Man, those things are awesome. I saw some great people dressed up as him, and they did a great job. I almost wanted to use them as reference. It's like, well, this is what, you know, like what I draw, like a real cosplay costume person would look like, you know. But I figure, you know what, that's good for what they did, and I'll just draw and see what happens for mine. If you hear the thunder, it's raining again. We're getting a crazy amount of rain here in Texas during these posts. So if you hear a lot of thunder and whatnot, yeah, I know, it's crazy. But you might not, because the music's playing and it's very still. It's far away right now. So you might not hear anything. I'm just saying, because sometimes people will comment, like, do I hear dogs? Do I hear siren? You know what I mean? So, yes, you do. You do hear lightning. Thunder. Sorry, lightning doesn't make a noise. I guess, right? I mean, I guess the explosion is still thunder. All right, I'm good with those hands. Let me solidify his collar. Again, I don't know what you would call it. Just a very dynamic collar. Okay, there's his shoulders. Back there. Okay. For a face, I want to give him a regular face because I kind of did the same thing with the prince. That, again, a cosplay person. It's like I've seen cosplay people with a gigantic mask, but I think he would look better with a regular human head. Like, again, as if a person dressed up as the king were wearing this outfit, you know. In other words, not a gigantic square mask. So again, sorry if I get quiet, but sometimes when I concentrate like this, I'm trying to get it right. I think that doesn't look too bad. I can live with that. And his, like the prince had like a pill head, his is just pretty much just going straight across. Nothing too crazy. I mean, nothing too crazy as far as wearing a gigantic whatever this is on your head. I mean, if you accept that, then nothing too crazy. If you don't accept it, then draw that gigantic big thing on his head. Okay, I am comfortable with that. Let me erase some of these sketch lines real fast, because I want my Sharpie to stand out, not these pencil lines. So when I first started drawing, those are sketch lines. I'm just trying to get the placement, the position, and the proportions. 3 Ps. And as I get more confident with all those, I start pressing harder, so those are the confidence lines. So when I lightly erase like this, the sketch disappears very easily, because it's, like I said, it's such a light line that I put down. And the confidence lines take a little more pressure, but I'm not putting enough pressure to erase that. So what we still see is the confidence line, but we're getting rid of the sketchiness. So get rid of your sketchiness, keep your confidence, you will do amazing things in life, and I will be there to celebrate your victories. Awesome. Okay, I say we get going. Welcome everybody that skipped to the Sharpie portion of the video. Welcome skippers, welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I do a different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but the pen's a little finer than the fine point. It can find things that the fine point can't quite find. I've sketched the entire thing out. I've erased the majority of the sketch lines, but left myself enough to see where we're going to go. And if you want to see more video game stuff, check out that playlist right there, or just check out the playlist in general because I do so many that I may have already drawn what you're looking for. So I'm just going to jump right in and get going with his face. Draw the top of his lids like this, just to see how I've got them level. Looks good to me, so I'm going to keep going. I'm going to draw the, even though you can't see this in the actual guy, none of this is real. I'm going to give him retina color to his eye like this. Then it's tiny, but I'm going to dab just a little bit of pupil with my Sharpie. You can put it in if you want. I can barely put it in because this is going to start to bleed at this size. And for the bottom of the eye, again, because it's going to bleed, I'm only going to come in a little bit like that just to kind of show that it's going towards that bottom. So I'll let those lines and the retina imply the bottom edge. Color can take care of the rest. So I'm going to go ahead and give him an eyebrow. Again, he doesn't have it in the video game, but I'm looking at it like a person dressed up as cosplay. That's how I'm looking at it as. Same thing for his nose. He's got that pointy nose, but I kind of want to do some nostrils, and I'll do more with color. Like I kind of don't even want to draw that gigantic square. Yeah, let's do it with color. Okay, so again, I'm going to do his mouth. Like that. Again, just defining the human features. And then I'm going to come back and add a whole bunch of stuff in, like a bottom lip. The top lip, I guess I can kind of do that. Let's see. It's going to kind of bleed a little, so it's almost going to be completely solid, but that's how it is in the character too, so I'm not worried about that. For his big old chin, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to start to thicken up my edges too, because when I switch over to this Sharpie, you're going to see a huge difference in line width. So I'm trying to capture where it's going to go. You don't have to do that if you're working with pencil. It might look a little weird, so I'm just explaining to you why I draw, how I draw. So I'm still kind of giving him that blocky feature, but still trying to keep it humanoid. Does that make sense? I'm going to go ahead and bring it all the way up. Alright, so he's got nice cheekbones. Gonna give him a little bit of that. Let's draw his mustache and beard. So come down like this, give him his little point. Something like that. There you go. I'm not going to color that in. I'll do that with actual color, not with this Sharpie. But you're welcome to do what you want to do. Alright, so line across, and then his crown. Well, I guess I could do his hair, right? Or what little points there are is kind of something like this. And now I'll do his crown. Usually I switch over to the big Sharpie by now, but again, his crown's a little smaller than I can do with that big Sharpie. It's called a fine point, but there's nothing fine about it. There we go. Okay, and again, I'm about to switch over to the other Sharpie, so that's why, again, I'm thickening up my lines. Awesome. Alright, so let's switch over. Now, I guess I kind of need to do his collar first, or at least the top edge, because it's behind that. This big head thing is behind the collar. So let's do the collar. I'm gonna do Okay, so I'm just gonna pick a spot and start because it's going behind his hand over here as well. So I'm just gonna come over here and do this, stop right about there, and that should be enough for the edge of the collar. And then we'll come back, okay? All right, so now I can bring it up to his neck. Like this. Bring this one over to that one. A little curved, that's okay. There's gonna be one more like this, but again, I've got his hand there, so I need to define that first. You know what, I think I'm gonna get a ruler just to get this part straight. So if you wanna go get a ruler, pause right now and we'll wait for you. Awesome, good to see you back. You like that? If you're just watching without pausing, we don't have to worry about it because they're coming right back. Okay, so I'm just gonna go straight across according to my sketch, kind of like from here to here, and kind of do the same thing over here. Down at the bottom of his head. But see how it goes behind his collar just a little bit? And I'm eyeballing the distance. I'm not too worried about if it's not perfect. I'm trying, but I'm not worried about if it's perfect. There, go under the collar. About there to make it very square. And then we're gonna arc it up. The arc, we'll do by hand. I'm not worried about that. We're gonna come out like that. And come back in. This one I'm gonna pull more instead of push. Something like that. There you go. Awesome. Let me do his lines on his collar. Now, it's on the underside too, so we got to go in and do those. Wow, look, I tend to curve up whenever I do that. I can't do a straight line. My hand tends to go up like that. Crazy. So, the underside, that means it's going to come through like this. Again, going towards the neck. Can't really see that one. Now, again, his fingers are right there, so let me draw those first. He's got very dynamic hands. He's kind of doing something like this. Let me draw them, and you'll see where we are. Okay, so here's the thumb, kind of all curled in. I'll add some detail in a second. The fingers high up, but curved over. Again, I'll add detail in a second. This one's bent over. This one's bent over a little bit more. Should have been more round right there. And then this one's super down. Okay, so he's kind of doing like this, all right? That's kind of what we're going for. But see how it's in front of the collar? That's what I wanted to draw first to make sure I don't draw through it. There, awesome. Okay. So let me draw a little bit of the finger like this. Maybe smooth some of it out. Something like that for the hand. Now he's got them up, so that means the elbows are out a little bit, but there's a lot of cloth hanging down. So there's this big wide angled sleeve end. I'm gonna go ahead and bring it up to the elbow. The arm, you can't really see much of it because the way he's got it raised, so that's all we really have to do. Again, I like creases and folds, so we're just gonna do something like that, just to kind of say, yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff all wrinkled in there that you can't see. All right, so kind of the same thing with this hand, but a little bit lower. So I'm gonna draw the thumb like we did. Again, we'll come back for detail in a second. This finger is going to be a little bit lower. This one will be higher. This one will be lower. And this one will be super low. Okay, so this one's kind of doing something like that. That's kind of the idea we're going for here. Okay, let me add the detail with the small Sharpie rather than the big one. That's the whole point. I mean, it's not the point. Honestly, this Sharpie is just for tiny detail like that, but it does help to, I wouldn't say fix, but yes, we're fixing a few things to help capture some of that detail that the big Sharpie just can't quite get. Even though it's called a Sharpie fine point, it wasn't made for things like this, so sometimes it kind of gets lost. All right, so same thing, his big wide collar sleeve is kind of flowing out this way. As open as that one. But again, that's why we're doing it a little different, you know, mixing it up. Put the elbow, something like this. This sleeve, or arm, you can see more of the sleeve. Like that. So now, that also means you can see his side, like this. Coming down into his belt, right? Check my picture. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we'll go ahead and just draw the edge of the belt too, so we see where we are. There's the buckle, like this, going up to the sleeve. Again, there's only so much we can see. I'm gonna go ahead and draw the edge like this, and then we'll add some detail. Right, like his little necklace. Oh, you know, let's add some material lines real fast, just to show that it's wrinkled. But he does have that lapel wavy collar look that I want to get to. Okay, so yeah, let's do his necklace. Let's see what we got here. It's kind of like this little tiny little thing like this. I can't really draw all the detail. It looks like some kind of weird eye thing. Something like that. Okay, and again, like I said, he's got this this bumpy, like I want to call it flowery, but it's not flowers. But for some reason, it makes me think of flower petals, and that's my own thing, you know. That's not what they are. That's what I see. That's what my brain sees for some strange reason. Okay. For his, I should probably do that with small detail. For his, I want to say it's a buckle because it kind of holds all the cloth together. Let's do that. Let's do it with the small Sharpie real fast. It's got like this lion look to it. But almost like not, maybe is it a panda? A bear, I guess? There we go. So that's all. Just a tiny little detail that I would not be able to capture with that big Sharpie. So we're going to bring out the material, one end coming out this way like this. Right. We're going to go ahead and flip it just to give it a different dimension. Or not dimension, but level, I guess. Could have flowed a little bit better, but that's okay. See, I did it, and then all of a sudden it just does that, you know? So it's like, could have been better, but that's okay. Bring this around like that. There's two ends, so we're going to do the same thing. Going to bring this under. This one will just keep basic. Something like that. Again, not too over the top, because he's already over the top. Right? It's like, how much more can you go over the top with the King of all Cosmos? All right, the rest is pretty much just human anatomy, because he's got like skin tight pants on, kind of like the prince is just all one color, all one solid thing. So we're drawing anatomy is all we're doing. So I'm going to bring his leg out this way, down to his knee. I guess we'll just draw the whole thing. Let's draw the calf to the ankle. We'll bring it all the way down to the foot to the toe. Let's just do it, right? This one's coming down this way, a little bit into the material I didn't mean to do, but that's okay. It happens. To the knee, to the shin, to the calf, down to the toe, something like that. Let's see. I'm going to draw his crotch in right here, so I can bring the thigh in this way, down to the knee, calf, ankle, to the heel. Alright, so back of the leg here, to the back of the knee, calf, ankle, heel. Something like that, and then we'll add just a little bit of detail just to draw a little bit, because like I said, it's mostly just all one piece, right? So there's not a lot of armor or weapons or belts and stuff like that, so let's see. So yeah, something like that. So I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is the king of all cosmos from KATAMARI Damacy.
So here's how I colored it. Tell me what you think in the comments below, or show me what you did in our Discord group. Just have fun and make it your own, because remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures with How I Draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button for new videos.